welcome to Transcending Crochet. Today I'll be teaching you how to make a back scrubber. So what I'm going to be using is I'm going to be using some Scrubby yarn and some Bernat cotton yarn. So this is just regular old cotton yarn and then whatever Scrubby yarn you can use. And I'll be using one strand of the Scrubby stuff, one strand of the cotton, and I will be using a 6mm hook today as well. So to start, I've got one strand of the Scrubby and one strand of the cotton, and I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to put it on my 6mm hook, like so. And if you don't know any of the stitches I will be doing today, I will leave in the info card above. And it will also be on my Basics of Crochet playlist under my channel, which I would like to throw out as I'm making an even amount of stitches. So to start, it's just any number of even amount of stitches that you would like. This will be the width of our thing, not our length. So what it is, we're going to be working our width and then all the way down until we have the length that we want. And then we're going to add 2 handles at the end with just the cotton. But speaking of liking and subscribing, can you please subscribe to my channel so that I can keep making some more awesome content for you guys? That'd be awesome. (16, 17, 18). You should have 18, so whatever length you want to be, and then you add 2 stitches to it, and then I'm going to chain up 1, so I have a total of 19. I'm going to single crochet in this first stitch, and in every stitch all the way down. So the single crochets. This row might be a little tricky just because you're starting this project. The first row is always the hardest. It's also very hard when you're me because I cannot see through my phone. My phone is very poor resolution when it comes to actually filming. It looks much better in the finished video, I'm telling you guys. I'm on my last stitch, and as you see, mine is pretty curly, but that is a-okay as long as I've got 18 stitches. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We are good. This curliness will go away as we add more rows to it. So we're always going to start a row and end a row with a single crochet, just make our edges look nice. So we're going to chain up 1 and turn. And we're going to single crochet into that first stitch and into the next stitch after it. And then I'm going to be using what is called, I'm calling a defined pebble stitch for this project. So instead of double crochets as a usual pebble stitch normally uses, I'm going to be using treble crochets. So you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook twice, go into the first stitch or the next stitch after your single crochet, your 2 single crochets. I'm going to pull through 2. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. And it may look a little weird right now, but as you see, if I add my single crochet in the stitch next, it'll pull it down and almost create like a little popcorn, which is going to create some really nice texture for your back scrubby. So it's going to go single crochet, treble, single crochet, and then into this next stitch is a treble, and you're going to do this all the way down. And before I forget to say it, I'm going to say it right now, is I've got my Instagram, which is Transcending Crochet, and I would love to see what you guys made. Please send me a message or send me a picture of what you made. I would love to see. And the same goes for my other projects. If you made the basket weave blanket or the yoga socks, I would love to see what you guys made. Please follow me there because I will be letting you know when more content comes out from my channel as well, which would be really nice. And also, the question for this video is, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Since it's summertime here, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Because mine, I think, would be cookies and cream, you know? That stuff's the best. And I will see you guys at the end of this row. Okay, I'm on my last 2 stitches. And sorry, it's just really hard to see through my phone. I'm going to make my second last stitch will be my treble crochet. My last stitch will be a single crochet. So it's just going to be basically one row repeat for this entire pattern. So here's the wrong side of the pattern. And then here's the textured side of the pattern where it's got these wonderful treble crochets, which create these little popcorns. So to start our second row, we're going to chain one and we're going to turn. And into that first stitch, we're going to single crochet. And into the next stitch, we are going to single crochet. So basically, if we see a treble stitch, we're going to single crochet on top of it. And then if we see a single crochet stitch, we're going to treble. So it'll go single crochet, treble crochet, single crochet, treble crochet, all the way down for this entire pattern. Yeah, so this is basically the pattern. Very simple, very fast. But yeah, so all this row is, and as you can see, my popcorn wants to switch to the other side. You can just push it forward. So then you got two popcorns and then a popcorn in between. But these are actual popcorns. I'll post a video maybe later on a popcorn stitch tutorial. These are your treble crochets, not popcorns. And I will see you guys at the end of the row and give you instructions for the rest of this pattern. And just remember to keep pushing these trebles forward, so then all your textures are on one side. Okay, I'm on my last two stitches, and my second last stitch is a treble crochet, like so. And then my last stitch is a single crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into this last stitch here. Just want to make sure I'm getting both loops. Yep, there's the one. Sort of hidden behind there. Sometimes that happens. And scrubby yarn, there we go. And as you see, it's just a 2-row repeat. So you got your textured side, so they got all these popcorns to them, which is your treble crochets, and then we got our back side, which is sort of flatter. And then we're going to start the next row, and it's just, you're going to repeat the same rows. So if you're a little confused, you can rewind to where I was starting row 2. I'll start row 3 with you, and then I will come back when I've got my length that I want, and I'll give you how many rows that is once I'm done. This project's pretty simple to count your rows. All you do is you count how many popcorn, or your trebles you got. And then you add 2 rows at the end for both your single crochets, because I'll do the last row with you guys. So we're going to start, and we're going to single crochet 2. And then treble crochet, single crochet, treble crochet all the way to the end. And then that is what you're going to do for the rest of this project. Pretty simple. I will see you guys at the end. Welcome back. I'm just finishing up row 56. This will be my last row. I just want to do the last couple stitches with you, and then we're going to add, well, it's my 56th textured stitch row. I have a single crochet at the first, so technically it's my 57th, and I'll be ending with a 58th row of single crochets. So we're just going to finish this off here. And then we are going to go into our last stitch with a single crochet. And then we're going to chain up of 1. We're going to turn this. Mine's quite long. You can always add or decrease the amount of textured stitch rows you have to make this longer or shorter, depending on who you're making it for, or if you're making it for yourself. And we're going to start with a single crochet, and we're just going to place 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way across. And then we can do for this project, if you want to make it easier from what I've done, maybe ball your yarn together with the scrubby yarn, so then you aren't constantly having to try and pull both at the same time, it can be a little frustrating. And as you see here, here's my other side. It's completely flat because I pushed all my treble popcorns to the front here. Or the right side. This is our right side and wrong side of our project. Okay, this is the last single crochet of the main part of this project. Woo, we're done. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, and rule of thumb for me is I always trim just after in between my middle and forefinger of my hand that I hold my yarn with. I find that just gives me just the right amount of yarn to work with for weaving in my ends. I'm going to do a chain up of 1, but instead of doing another chain, we're just going to pull it straight through and pull it tight. And that is the main part of your back scrubby here, all the way across. As you can see, it's got some really nice depth and texture to it. And the last thing that we have to do, which is pretty quick, is going to be to add our handles to it, so then it'll be easier to hold. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to take just my plain old cotton yarn, so no scrubby yarn, and I'm going to also reach for a smaller hook, as small as the yarn can take it, because this will minimize the amount of stretch that this will stretch over time with. So I'm going to try, I'm just going to grab a random hook off my rack here. Grabbed was my 3.5 hook. If that is too much of a challenge for you, you can always feel up to move up a couple hook sizes. I'm just trying to do as tiny as I can do, because then it'll have less stretch over time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find one side of our project. As you see, we finished with these nice single crochets all the way across. We're going to find our end stitch, and we're going to join our yarn to there. So we're going to take our yarn. I already made a slip knot with mine, as you can see. And I'm going to put this on my hook. And I'm going to tighten it up just slightly. I'm going to hold my yarn across my hands like I normally do. I'm going to pull through this one, and I'm going to start chaining. So for me, I've done 30 chains with my 3.5mm hook. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it doesn't have a lot of stretch to it. And then I'm going to join it to this last stitch here. Try and make sure it's not twisted in any way, so you can just run your fingers over to make sure it's straight. And then we're just going to join with the slip stitch to our last one here. Chain 1, do another slip stitch. It's a little bit tricky when you're doing it through a camera and with a tiny hook. And we're going to turn. And we're just going to place a single crochet in every chain going down. So starting with the closest one here, it's a little hard to see. Wait. And you're just going to place a single crochet in every stitch. You can change up how many chains you want for your handle. You can always increase or decrease the amount of chains you want. But just remember, write down the number, because you want the same number on each side. And I will see you guys when I finish my single crochets. I'm on my last couple stitches of the first part of, or the first side handle. And 3, sorry, this yarn's splitting a little bit today for some reason, probably because I got a really tiny hook. 2, and then here's my last one here. 1, and then you're just going to slip stitch into that last stitch again and cut your yarn. So wherever my scissors went to, there they are. You're going to just trim your yarn and do a chain, but pull through all the way, and then you can pull it tight. And there's your first handle. You're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. As you can see, it's got not a lot of stretch to it, so hopefully it won't stretch out over time. There's your first handle, and then you're going to do the exact same steps, but on this side. And if you want, you can just repeat the last couple minutes of the video from where we started our handle if you need a walkthrough instructions, but I will show you the end product once I've woven in all my ends. So once you finish your handles, you can weave in all your ends on this, and then you're done. Okay, I've finished mine. Here are my handles on both sides of my project. Thank you for watching, and I hope you really enjoy this project.